When I married Emily, I believed we were unbreakable. Our days were filled with shared laughter, spontaneous road trips, and quiet evenings dreaming about our future. I trusted her with every piece of my heart, never doubting her devotion or her promises. She was my safe haven, my partner in every sense. But sometimes the person you cherish most leaves the deepest scars, and I had no idea how much pain was waiting for me. It began with subtle changes. Emily started spending hours on her phone, tilting the screen away when I entered the room. She'd brush it off, saying she was catching up with old friends or scrolling through harmless chats. But her late-night texting and sudden irritability raised red flags. I wanted to trust her, so I ignored the unease growing in my chest. Looking back, that was my first mistake, believing her words when her actions screamed something else. I tried to talk to her to reconnect, but she dismissed my concerns with a laugh or a vague excuse. The warmth we once shared felt like it was slipping away, replaced by a cold distance I couldn't explain. I told myself it was just a phase, that every marriage has rough patches. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. I just wasn't ready to face it. One night, we were out with friends at a cozy restaurant, the kind of place where we used to steal glances and share secret smiles. But that evening, Emily's mood was different, sharp, almost performative. As the table erupted in laughter over some light-hearted banter, she turned to me with a smirk and said, "Well, at least my old boyfriend had more to offer." The words landed like a punch. Our friends chuckled awkwardly, but I felt the air leave my lungs. Her eyes locked onto mine, daring me to react, as if she wanted to see me crumble. I forced a smile, pretending it didn't hurt, but inside, I was unraveling. That night, I lay awake, her words echoing in my mind. It wasn't just a thoughtless joke, it was a deliberate jab, a betrayal wrapped in laughter. The woman I loved had humiliated me in front of others, and for what? To feel powerful. To hurt me? That's when the truth started to sink in. Emily wasn't just being cruel. There was something deeper, something I'd been too blind to see. Her comment wasn't just a one-time slip. It was a window into a truth I hadn't wanted to face. The late-night phone calls, the secretive glances, the way she'd pull away when I tried to hold her. It all started to add up. I began to suspect she wasn't just distant. She was hiding something or someone. Instead of confronting her, I decided to dig deeper. I wasn't proud of it, but I needed answers. I checked our shared phone records and noticed unfamiliar numbers. She'd been texting late at night. I tracked her location when she claimed to be running errands or meeting a friend. One afternoon, when she said she was visiting her sister, I followed her. My heart sank as I saw her step out of her car and into the arms of another man. They laughed, held hands, and walked together with an ease that used to belong to us. The pieces fell into place. Her cruel joke about her ex wasn't random. It was a reflection of her betrayal, a comparison she'd been making in her mind all along. The realization hit me like a wave, but instead of drowning in it, I channeled my pain into resolve. I wouldn't let her lies destroy me. I'd play her game, but I'd play it smarter. For weeks, I acted as if nothing had changed. I smiled, cooked her favorite meals, and asked about her day like the devoted husband she thought I was. Behind the scenes, I gathered evidence, screenshots of her messages, photos of her with him, even a recording of a late-night call where she laughed about keeping me in the dark. My goal wasn't just to confront her. It was to protect myself, to ensure she couldn't twist the narrative or paint me as the villain. Every moment I played the part of the oblivious husband, my heart ached. I mourned the woman I thought I'd married, the love I thought was real. But I also felt a growing strength. I wasn't going to let her betrayal define me. I was going to take back my dignity, one careful step at a time. The moment of truth came during a quiet dinner at home. Emily, emboldened by my silence, tried another jab. "You know, maybe you're just not enough for me," she said, her tone dripping with condescension. This time, I didn't flinch. I looked at her, calm and steady, and said, "Maybe I'm not. But at least I never betrayed you, lied to you, or threw our marriage away for someone else." Her smirk vanished. The color drained from her face as I placed my phone on the table, the screen displaying a photo of her with the other man. I swiped through the evidence, texts, call logs, a video clip of her laughing with him in a way she hadn't with me in months. Her eyes widened, and for the first time, I saw fear in them. She stammered, tried to laugh it off, but her voice broke. "It was a mistake," she whispered. "I still love you." I shook my head. Love doesn't mock. Love doesn't cheat. Love doesn't tear someone down to feel better about itself. My voice was calm, but every word carried the weight of my pain. She started to cry, begging me to keep it between us, promising she'd change. But her tears didn't move me. They couldn't erase the months of lies, the public humiliation, or the way she'd made me doubt my worth. For once, she wasn't in control. The woman who thought she could belittle me, betray me, and walk away unscathed was now facing the consequences of her choices. I felt no joy in her tears, only a quiet resolve. I'd given her my trust, my love, my everything, and she'd thrown it away. Now it was my turn to choose myself. That night, I walked away from her, from the life we'd built, from the pain she'd caused. The next morning, I filed for divorce, attaching every piece of evidence I'd collected. Emily tried to fight it, claiming I'd misunderstood, but the truth was undeniable. The court saw through her excuses, and she left with nothing but the weight of her actions. Friends who'd heard her cruel joke later told me she was devastated. She moved in with the man she'd been seeing, but he left her within months, unable to handle the fallout of her choices. She lost the respect of those who once admired her, the marriage she took for granted, and the dignity she thought she could trample without consequence. I didn't revel in her downfall. Instead, I focused on rebuilding myself. I rediscovered passions I'd set aside, reconnected with friends, and slowly learned to trust again. Eventually, I met someone new, someone who valued me, who saw my worth without comparisons or cruelty. With her, I found a love that felt safe, genuine, and whole. Emily's betrayal was meant to break me, but it didn't. It taught me that true strength isn't about fighting back with anger or vengeance. It's about holding on to your self-respect, knowing your worth, and walking away from those who don't see it. The night she cried at my words, I realized something profound. My value isn't defined by her choices or her words. It's defined by how I choose to carry myself through the pain. In the end, the sweetest victory wasn't her tears or her loss. It was standing tall, free from her shadow, and building a life filled with love and dignity. Sometimes the greatest revenge is simply living well, with the truth as your guide.